Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carrie. Thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate that. In today's episode, I wanted to discuss with you what came up with a client about, 2-3 months ago, just getting around to it now. And it's about what if this person is pulling away, he or she, while you've been dating for a while. Happens to my matchmaking clients often. They'll take a pause or a hiatus from their matchmaking experience to explore a relationship, but sadly, they reach out to me months later or a year later and say, hey, it didn't work out. And sometimes they'll want to run past me things that transpired and why she was suddenly pulling away. Sometimes it's women asking about the guy. He's no longer responding quickly, and I just feel something's off. What's that about? Today, I thought maybe we could discuss that. I could be helpful. Why would I be helpful? Well, I don't know. Are you new here? I'm Carrie. I'm a matchmaker, a dating coach, and I have this channel here. We talk about dating and relating all day, every day, actually twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. And today I have, 7 tips for you if this is happening to you. If that's at all interesting, I hope you'll stick around because that's what's on the agenda. Number 1, I think that we need to keep in mind that power in a relationship, or who's more deeply committed at any given time, is on a spectrum and it's constantly shifting. Sometimes one person is giving more, one person is giving less. We're not always all capable of giving 100% all the time. It's always on a up and down sliding scale as to who's loving somebody else a little bit more, who's feeling a little distant, who's got stuff going on in their work life or their personal life, and they're not as focused on the relationship. So that in itself is perfectly normal. You should know that and remind yourself that so that you remember that this isn't always a huge to-do or a big deal, and a breakup is not imminent just because somebody is not fully invested 100% of the time. Number 2, what should you do? Somebody is backing off or asking for a little space, give it to them. And I'm not saying just disappear out of their life, but being too assertive in these moments or reaching out more, trying to be more in their face, trying to have conversations about why, or doubling down on the energy you're putting into the relationship is very often a turnoff. And honestly, I'm going to have to, along gender lines, women will often say that that feels desperate to them and does not put men in the light that they are going to do a turnaround here and suddenly be able to get back to where they need to be mentally for this relationship. So it doesn't work in your favor. In the situation with between a woman pulling away and a man being the partner wondering what's going on, I'd say give her space and don't come on too strong at this point in time. I'll give you some tools as to what you can do and how to approach it, but stay away from anything that's going to make you look desperate or needy in this situation. That will work better for you in the scenario with most women, at least the ones I talk to. So number 3, I reiterate, I don't mean back off and don't talk to this person. Don't be in their face, but communicate with them, certainly, reach out, but communicate with intention, not just, hey, I'm just, checking in, or do you want to talk about it, or how are you feeling? Instead, communicate because you want to make plans, you want to get together, and you can always add, hey, if there's anything you need from me, if you're going through something, let me know, I'm here for you. Being supportive of somebody is what a good partner does, to be there if you need them. Just don't be pushing that they share with you, because if they wanted to, they likely would. Just let them know you're available for that if they are so inclined and want you to be the recipient of them venting or having a conversation even about the two of you. It could be helpful to realize this may not be about the two of you. There could be some other area of her life that she's stressed about or having issues or ambivalent about. Could be work, could be parents, could be kids, lots of other things going on. A friend that's acting strange or pulling away themselves. It could be a similar situation. So don't make assumptions that it's you. If they say they need a little space or you're assuming they need a little space, let them know, I'm getting the vibe you want a little space. Do you want me to, back off a little bit, or is it something you want to talk about? Because I'm here to listen if you need a sounding board. Number 4, if you're trying to get back in their good graces and looking to do something kind or extra special, I will remind you to use their love language to do that, not your own. So if by chance their love language is words of affirmation and yours is quality time, instead of showing up or trying to plan a getaway, you may want to instead write him or her a letter saying, hey, I know that you've got some other stuff going on. I'm here for you. I care about you. Getting to know you over the last 6 months has been the most amazing experience. I don't want to push you if you aren't feeling great this weekend. Whatever, a letter. What am I writing a letter for an imaginary situation for? I do it. That's what I do, don't I? And you love me for it, right? On the other hand, if their love language is gifts, you may want to drop some flowers off at the door and with a little hope to see you this weekend if you're up to it, and leave, right? Not for the conversation, but for the gift. Or if their love language is, here I go again, acts of service. Maybe you have access to this person's vehicle. Go get her oil changed or go wash his car. Something kind that you can do to let the person know you care, despite what your own love language tells you you should be doing. Focus on theirs. Next up, let this person know when you're having those little conversations that you're a safe place. That, hey, I can be here as a friend to you, right? You can talk to me about anything, even if it's a hard conversation. Don't keep telling them that or keep going back to reconfirm they heard you say that. Don't be needy about it, that it's for you to let's say that. You can't need to tell them because you need something back. You have to be offering it freely because it might be something they need. Do you see what the difference is there? You know how much I hate talking about masculine energy and feminine energy, but there is something to that, even though I'm just loath to talk about it. It's just over talked about and people take it, in my estimation, to extremes. But there's obviously a way that energies play a part in relationships. So if your energy is male, don't lose sight of that. A male energy is typically a strong take care of. They're both take care ofs, aren't they? But it's typically somebody who you can lean on type of an energy in a lot of relationships. And for a lot of men, if that's something she or he appreciate about you, then by all means, hang on to your masculine energy and try to maintain whatever your normal strength is. Don't cave in because things are a little bit on shaky ground. Instead, stand on your solid ground that you're usually on and don't waver from there. Be the support system you can offer to be, but don't come back really, really needy because it's not going to have the effect that you're hoping it does. Next up, if they are taking some space, that means you're getting some space also, even if it's not something you desired. But that's still a great reason to take yours and use it wisely. A little introspection and, checking in with yourself to see even if this relationship is working for you. Sometimes it takes something a hiccup or a bump in the road for you to stand back and say, oh, you know what? That's interesting that she's feeling this now, because last week I was feeling a little concerned that maybe certain things weren't really working. So maybe this is a wake-up call to something that's going on for both of you that you just weren't looking at. So take this time to do a little self-examination and see what's going on in your own head. But certainly don't feel even more committed or doubling down because they may not be wanting you, right? It's that whole, I want you more now because you're suddenly unavailable, right? Don't fall prey to that feeling that some humans have, that they want the chase, that they would now see this person as something to obtain because it's not for sure something they have, wanting something they're not sure of or that they haven't really locked down. Don't do that. This person should not be more attractive to you because you're uncertain about how they feel about you. And finally, it's either going to work out or it's not. You can't force somebody to not want space from you or not take some time for themselves. You can't force them to decide you're fantastic or you're the person for them. And at least you can say, if you do all these things that we've discussed, that you gave it your best shot. And it will be what it will be, and you should keep one thing in mind. You're not everybody's cup of coffee. Not everybody's going to fall madly in love with you and want to spend the rest of their life with you. That sometimes happens, and that's all right. Much better that you find out now after, like in the example I'm thinking about, was probably like 4 or 5 months in. Better my client found out now than a year and a half from now after even more time invested in this person, which then was keeping him from moving on and finding the person that he did really connect with and want to spend the rest of their lives together. Somebody letting us know that it's not working out can be viewed as disappointing, but it can also be viewed as a gift. That honesty, when you look at it the right way, is something we can be grateful for. All right, I hope you found that interesting and or helpful. If you did, my mom says a thumbs up might be appropriate. I can't argue with her. She's so cute. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel, and then that ring bell is helpful because it lets you know every time a new episode goes live, and then you can come back, hang out again soon. I'll look forward to that, and until next time, thanks again, and have a good one.